Hey guys, got some bad news here. I was at work, received a call from my wife. She had asked earlier in the day to mow the lawn. I said sure, she's done that before. She does a good job. Lawn is looking good. However, in the past she's used our 22-inch recycler. This is the first time using our 30-inch Toro Timemaster, so it's something she had to get used to. She got to the back section here. The mower got away from her a little bit, and she unfortunately got on top of this clean out here, and you can see that blade just destroyed. That plug took a couple chunks out of it, and she told me after that happened that when the blades were rotating it was making not a good noise. What I'm going to do is we'll take it into the garage, take a look, see what kind of damage I have and if any repairs or what repairs are necessary. So we'll want to flip this on its side to go ahead and look at the blades underneath. Of course, when rotating a lawnmower on its side, you always want air filter up and the oil dipstick side down. But before we do that, I'll go ahead here and disconnect the spark plug wire like so, and let's go ahead and roll it on its side. Alright, upon first inspection, already see an issue with the blades. Now typically you would expect to see the blades perpendicular to each other, essentially making a T, which is not the case, so we certainly have some issues here. Both blades have a significant amount of damage. Essentially they're both shot. I'm noticing here this lower blade is spinning freely. No tension at all on the blade. The top blade does have some tension. So this one here appears to have less damage than the lower blade. So first thing, go ahead and remove the blades and see what else we can find. Blade adapter looks okay. But the blade itself, you can see, is all chewed up. Lower blade, again, blade adapter looks okay. And similarly, although the sharp edge is not so bad on this one, the actual outer edge of the blade is beat up pretty bad. So I do have replacement blades that I can use. And then I also have some of these blade adapters that I'll go ahead and replace while I'm at it. Looking more closely at these spindles here. Again, the top one, I do have tension. The lower one here is spinning freely, so I'm concerned about that. And to look more closely as to what may be causing this issue, I'm going to rotate the mower back and look at the system from the top side. So to remove this cover that's covering the belt drive system, there's 4 bolts, 2 on either side of the engine, and a 3/8 inch ratchet will remove those. Alright, so here's our issue. Very obvious, the belt is actually broken. So the belt is broken, there's also a bunch of debris in there that needs to come out. This is the one that was the lower spindle. So understandably, there's nothing holding or securing that. So it is spinning freely in place. And then this one here on the underside which not only has the belt to drive the blades, is also run and connected to the shaft on the engine. So understandably, we have tension there on that one. So in order to perform this repair, we'll have to replace the existing broken belt with a new belt. The Toro part number is 120-33-35. In this case, the Sten's equivalent is 265-610. This cost about $41 for this particular belt. Okay, so I've got to get the new belt around this spindle over here. So there's two bolts holding this guide plate in place. So I'll go ahead and remove those. 3/8 inch socket. Go ahead and get this drive belt out of the way here. So I've got the new belt. I'm going to push back. Slide this in here, hopefully. Let's see. There we go. Got the blade in, or the belt past this section here. Now I'm just going to push this back. Alright. Now I've got the belt in place. As far as the belt routing goes, it's going to sit in front of this back roller. Come in through there and do something like this here. Now I will have to remove some of this tension on this back roller to allow myself to get the belt around the spindle on this side, and Toro does provide some spec for this particular assembly here for tensioning the actual roller. So once I loosen it up, we'll go ahead and set the tension using a feeler gauge on the inside of this spring right here. These are 1/2 inch nut and bolts. Go ahead and loosen that up. Okay, so that was enough to get the belt on, but one thing I'm thinking about now is what's important is what's going on the underside of the mower, and that is that the blades sit perpendicular to each other. So let me just I'll take a quick look underneath and see how the blades are sitting right now. So looking underneath, we've got the top one here, which is essentially left to right, and then the other one we would want to be up and down. Right now it's sitting at kind of an angle, so let me go ahead and make that adjustment. Let's leave this top one here where it's at, and then we'll need to rotate this one here, let's see, about what, 90 degrees or so. All right, so one thing I see here is, let me see if we can get some light. So on the right side, there's actually, if you can see that hole. So that hole is, let's say, perpendicular to the deck. And then on this side, that hole is sitting slightly off. And this was the lower blade spindle that I just showed you. So it looks like this hole is an indicator of the configuration. So go ahead and rotate this spindle to where we get the hole about 90 degrees out, which would be perfect in relation to this one over here. Belt is off. I'm going to rotate this one over here to where my circle is again in the front. Comes. Okay, and then this one over here. I'm going to want 90 degrees out. So I'll start it right like that. My hole's over here. Set the teeth to the belt to try to control that. And I'll go ahead and see. Got that belt sitting tight on these, in the grooves over here, and then tight across in these grooves. Gonna fix my location just about right there, and I'll try to turn this belt in here as I go. Okay, so let's do a quick check underneath and see if that lines up a lot better. All right, lower one is, looking at the lower one here, it's slightly lower on the right hand side. The top one slightly to the right up here. I'm going to say that's good enough. These here are the replacement blade adapters for this particular mower, Toro 120 52 36. I'll go ahead and replace those while I'm going through this exercise. Okay, now I've got those blades on. Let's set them perpendicular and see what we get. I think that's good enough. There's certainly plenty of clearance as the blades are turning around, so I'm not concerned about about that. So first thing, we'll go ahead and return this belt here. Back on there. And then we'll put the shield back on. Okay, now let's focus on the belt tensioner here. And I don't know if you saw when I was cleaning up, I actually found this cap loose in here, and turns out this cap sits right on top of that spindle there. It's actually kind of loose, so I'll put it there, but I don't know if it'll stay. So what the manual states on this particular assembly here is you tension it up, and there's an actual spring here. And what you want to do is tension it until you can get a 10/1000 feeler gauge on the back side there. So that's what we'll do. That's pretty good. So it's sliding in with a little bit of tension, a little bit of friction. So I say that adjustment is pretty good. Let me give you a better look at that. Okay, so now what I have to do, the belt has been replaced. I'll go ahead and put the cover back on and then flip the mower back on its side, tighten up the blades, and I think we'll be good to go. All right, so all I've got left to do is tighten these nuts, tighten these bolts. If you have a torque wrench, torque spec is 60 foot-pounds on these. Let's see. All right, got those torqued up nicely. Held securely in place. Guys, again, I thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope you found the information here helpful if you've come across this same situation on your Toro Timemaster or even a similar mower with a similar setup. So again, what happened, my wife was mowing, she hit that metal pipe clean out that not only damaged the blades, but also due to the impact broke the belt, the drive belt for the blades. So went ahead and replaced that, put new blade adapters on the underside, and put my replacement blades on. So I think I'm back up and running. Thank you again for watching. Have a great day, guys.